Hello. Today's lecture is based on important genetics terminology. So first of all, we should know what is gene. So in your lower classes, you have learned that a gene is a unit of functional hereditary material. But if you go deep inside the gene and the biochemical nature of gene, you can define gene is as a sequence of nucleotides in DNA or RNA. Why DNA? Because most of the organisms have DNA as a genetic material, and there are certain organisms like RNA virus have RNA as a genetic material. Okay, so the sequence of nucleotides in DNA or RNA, that is ATGC, okay, present on the chromosomal arm, and this gene transcribe certain important protein, and this protein helps us to give a specific phenotype either along or with different combination of protein. So this is the exact definition of gene. Now, if you go more deep into the gene, the fine structure of gene was proposed by Benjer in 1955-59. He proposed that the gene should have three important properties: cis-trans configuration, the gene should have mutable property, and should undergo recombination. Because if these three properties are there, the genes can make different type of allele because of mutation or for recombination. Thus, the fine structure of gene by Benjer was studied in R2 gene. The gene name is rapid lysis of T4 bacteriophage, and was studied to give out the three important properties of the gene. In cis-trans configuration, it is mean that since we are diploid and we have two chromosomes, one from the father, two pairs of chromosomes, one pairs of chromosome, one from the father, other from the mother. So during meiosis, during gamete formation, if the two genes located side by side on the chromosome is dominant one, and the other partner, that is a homologous partner, contain two recessive genes, this configuration is called cis configuration. And we know that in meiosis process, the crossing over takes place, and if crossing over takes place, so the chromosomes after gamete formation, it will be one will contain one gene will be dominant, other will be recessive. Similarly, the homologous partner will contain dominant, recessive, and the dominant. Again, and this is called the trans: one dominant, one recessive, one dominant. Again, if crossing over takes place between these two, the result will be cis. So cis to trans, trans to cis. Thus, the gene is also called cistron. What is cistron? Cistron can be defined as the smallest unit of a gene. So cistron can be defined as the smallest unit of gene. And a gene may contain more than one cistron. Suppose this is one gene. So the gene may contain more than one cistron. So cistron 1, cistron 2, cistron 3. Now, we learned little about the gene. Now, what is allele? So allele means different forms of same gene. As for example, you can say the shoot length, as studied by Mendel. Okay, there are two types of phenotype, tall and dwarf, and this two type of phenotype is due to the dominant gene capital T and the dwarf gene small t. So how this different type of same gene occurs? This different type of same gene occurs due to either we have a mutation and by recombination. So you can see that, suppose the allele 1, the wild type. What is wild type gene? The gene which is predominant during the ancestor time, that is called the wild type. So suppose this was the wild type gene, and due to mutation, we know that mutation is a change in the genetic material, and suppose this gene have the mutation at this place. Means suppose the base sequence have been changed. So if the mutation occurs, that lead to the new type of gene, and this becomes a allele 2. So this gene is a mutant 1. So this is how the mutation causes the different type of allele. Again, a recombination. Suppose there are two, one from the father, other from the mother, two chromosomes are there, and during gamete formation, recombination takes place. So what will happen? They give rise to two different type of allele of the same gene, and thus these alleles are formed. So Benjer was right. Due to this recombination mutation, there are different type of allele arise from the same gene. Now, what is locus? So locus means the location of a gene on the chromosome. Suppose this is a chromosome. Okay, so if the gene is located over here is called the locus of the X gene. Next is multiple allele. So we learned that allele means the different form of same gene. Means a wild type gene due to mutation may give rise to different form of same gene that encode different phenotype. As for example, the flower color may be white, may be red, but the gene is for the flower color, flower pigment. Now, what is multiple allele? Gene having more than two different type of allele is called the multiple allele, because since we are diploid, we should have two allele, one dominant, one recessive. But there are number of genes which have more than two allele due to mutation, and this is called the multiple allele. The best example is ABO blood group. In ABO blood group, there are three different type of allele, IA, IB and I0, but the gene is for the different blood group, ABO blood group, and three different type of alleles are there. So this is called the multiple allele. You can see that there are four type of blood group, A, B, AB and O, but the genotypes are IA, I0, IB, IB, I0, and the AB blood group have IA, IB, and O blood group have IO, I0. Okay, so these three allele give two different type of antigen. This one, the A blood group on the surface of the RBC contain A antigen. Okay, so IA helps in the production of A antigen. A antigen is the glycoprotein, protein along with the carbohydrate. Again, the B antigen produce the B blood group have the B antigen because of the gene IB. So these two are for A and B. Now this AB blood group contain both antigen A and B, and this expressed simultaneously on the surface of the RBC, and thus this genotype is also called co-dominance. I will explain you what is dominance. So what is co-dominance? Little bit you should learn. When the two allele, suppose A and B, expressing together without interfering each other is called co-dominance. And now the O blood group have no antigen present on the surface of the RBC. Thus the genotype is I0. And this is a recessive form of the genotype. And these are the dominance. I will explain you what is dominance. So see, with homozygous dominance, both the dominant genes are there, expressing A blood group, and this is heterozygous. Since IO is recessive and A is dominant, giving dominant nature. Again, B is a dominant, O is a recessive, is giving the dominant nature. And this is the example of AB, the co-dominance. But never say that the O blood group do not have any antigen. No, they have the H antigen. Okay, they have the H antigen. And this H antigen give rise to A antigen and B antigen by combining with different sugars, and thus they differ from A and B. Okay, so we can find that four blood group have 6 genotype, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now, what is dominant? So dominant allele means that allele which will produce a trait. Trait means character even in the presence of another allele in a diploid organism. Now, the dominant allele, if present in homozygous or in heterozygous, will get the expression of the trait. So dominant allele will produce a trait even in the presence of another allele in a diploid organism. Because we are diploid organism, we will be having two pairs of allele, one dominant, the other recessive. Both dominant and dominant. So let's see this illustration. This is heterozygous condition. The dominant gene is present and the recessive gene is present. So this dominant gene will produce mRNA, because how the gene expresses, the gene first produces mRNA, and this mRNA produces functional protein. Now this process is called the transcription, which you are going to learn in the next chapter. And by translation, the mRNA produces protein. Now since dominant gene is a wild type gene, functional gene, produce functional protein, and this functional protein give you the trait, that is a phenotype. Now the recessive allele also produces mRNA. Never say that in your lower classes you have learned that the dominant gene masks the expression of recessive gene. No, it do not mask the expression. The expression is there. They produce a defective protein. The defective protein is destroyed or the deactivated in the presence of dominant protein, the functional protein, and thus we get the trait due to the dominant gene. Now, if they are homozygous condition, one of the gene will produce the mRNA and the protein will be produced that give rise to the same trait. So, the dominant gene will express the trait whether present in the heterozygous form or the homozygous form. Now, what is recessive allele? The recessive allele will express the trait, the phenotype, only when present in the homozygous state, but gets suppressed when dominant gene is present. So, what is recessive gene? Only expressed when no dominant gene is present and only in the homozygous state. If dominant gene is present, the recessive gene will not express. Okay, so you can see that if this homozygous state is there, both the chromosome contain the recessive gene, and thus any of the mRNA will produce the mRNA, the protein will be defective, and this defective protein gives us the mutant phenotype. And if this protein is toxic, we may get the lethality. Now suppose this protein is toxic, thus we may get lethal effect. Lethal effect means the toxic effect. So the recessive gene will express only in the homozygous recessive state, not in the heterozygous state. The next is the genotype. So what is genotype? The genotype means the genetic makeup of an individual is called the genotype. As for example, if you consider the gene A, the genotype may be homozygous dominant, heterozygous, and homozygous recessive. So the genetic makeup is called the genotype. Now, what is phenotype? So phenotype means the character which can see the character we express due to the gene. Never always think that phenotype means morphological features. No, the phenotype means the trait, the character which is expressed by certain gene. So trait in an individual due to interaction of genotype and the environment is called the phenotype. Now, why environment? Because the gene which expresses itself to produce a functional protein will give rise to the particular phenotype. But sometimes the phenotype will be affected by the change in the environment. As for example, suppose you have bought a very good high yielding crop. Suppose you have bought a tomato sapling that produce very good quality tomato in a huge number. But if you will not give proper fertilizer and the irrigation, the amount of the yield of tomato will not be same and the quality of tomato will not be the same. And thus, any trait is due to the genotype and environment interaction. Okay. Now, what are the type of trait? The characters. The phenotypes may be the qualitative and may be quantitative. In the qualitative phenotypes are the trait that cannot be measured. Okay, we will not be able to measure, we cannot be able to count. That is, example, the disease-resistant gene, the pigment present in the flower. So they cannot be counted. So they are called the qualitative traits, and most of these qualitative traits are due to a single gene, and thus they are called monogenic inheritance. Inheritance means the passing of the character from one generation to another. So the monogenic inheritance are the characters which are expressed by single gene. Okay. Now what is quantitative trait? The traits which can be measured, okay, that can be counted. Example, the crop yield, the cow milk, the height of a person, the palm size, the feet size, that can be counted, that can be measured. So they are called quantitative, and most of the quantitative traits are due to more than one character, more than one gene. Thus they are polygenic in inheritance. The trait governed by more than one gene, and they are called polygenic inheritance. Sometimes polygenic inheritance do not follow Mendelian inheritance in some of the cases, and they are additive in nature. That is, as many as the dominant genes are there, the trait will be having the higher amount of dominant phenotype, which I will explain you in the other classes, that is a skin color. Now, this quantitative traits is also affected by environment. Okay, and as for example, I told you the yield of a crop. The yield of a crop, you have buy a crop having the good yield, but if you not give proper agronomical practices like waters, fertilizer, so the yield will not be good. Thus, the quantitative traits are always affected by the environments, and they have continuous variation. What is continuous variation? They have not distinct. Like suppose the height of a person may be 5.6 feet, other may be 5.65 feet, other may be 6.1. So the trait is continuous. And they give a graph like this. If this is a height and this is a number of person and this is height, you may find the graph like this. Okay. Now the genotype may be homozygous, may be heterozygous. So what is homozygous? When both the allele are in same form, either dominant or recessive. So when both the alleles are in the same form, they are called homozygous. What is heterozygous? The genotype consists of two different alleles. These are heterozygous. But a new term you may learn, what is hemizygous? Hemi means half. So the genotype with only one allele in a diploid organism. We are diploid, so we should have two alleles per single gene. But if due to, like suppose we should have this either dominant or recessive. Okay, but if we find only one gene allele is present, other is missing. So this condition is called hemizygous condition. The most common example is an X-linked gene in male. Suppose this is X chromosome and this is Y chromosome. Y chromosome is the smallest one. So the gene present on X chromosome will be absent on the Y chromosome. The gene present on Y chromosome will be absent on the X chromosome. So this state is called the hemizygous condition. So sometimes now the hemizygous condition not only find in the X and Y chromosome, but also you can find due to chromosome aberration. What is chromosome aberration? Due to mutation, due to certain chemical present in the environment, our chromosome break. Suppose this is one chromosome, okay, and this was the homologous chromosome. Here different chromosome. So here suppose the homologous chromosome was A and here it was small a, and a small is a toxic gene. So suppose due to certain activity, a small is present. Here the dominant gene, the A is missing because due to fragmentation occurs due to certain chemical. So this state is called the hemizygous condition, and the person is affected by the toxic a small a gene. Understood what is hemizygous? The next is the interesting one is a pleiotropy. So what is pleiotropy? We know that a single gene have a single function. Suppose a X gene will produce X protein, and that X protein will produce certain X phenotype. As for example, the flower pigment studied by Mendel will be violet or white. If the dominant gene is present, the flower will be violet, and if recessive, it will be white. It will not help in the production of more character. But a single gene having multiple number of functions is called the pleiotropy. That is, suppose gene is one, but they have number of functions 1, 2, and 3, and so on. Okay. As for example, you may find the B gene in P have two functions. The B gene determine the cone shape and starch grain size. Okay. If the B gene is present in the homozygous dominant form, the cone shape will be round and the starch grain will be big. If present in the heterozygous, both the trait will be in the intermittent state. Means in between the big and the small. And if it is present, if it is small b, the cone will be wrinkled, the size will be wrinkled, and a small grain size, starch grain size will be there. So see, one gene but giving more than two characters. Similarly, the other examples in humans are cystic fibrosis, phenylketonuria, and sickle cell anemia. Okay, these are the three genetic diseases in human. Like phenylketonuria is the disease caused due to mutation of phenylalanine hydrolase enzyme, which could not able to degrade the phenylalanine amino acid. Thus, the phenylalanine amino acid get accumulated in the urine. So, but the other function character which determined by the gene phenylalanine hydrolase is that not only they cause the phenylketonuria disease, but also cause the skin and pigment. The pigmentation of the skin will be affected. There will be hair loss, and the life pain will also get reduced. There is a mental retardation and so on. So one gene giving many character. The disease phenylketonuria, the pigmentation loss, the hair loss, the mental retardation and so on. This is called pleiotropy. The next is, what is karyotype? So this is very important technique which is studied by all genetics person. Okay, and nowadays this karyotype is being, not only nowadays, from the since many years, this karyotype is a technique which is practiced in many lab to find out the genetic abnormalities of a person. Okay, mostly the newborn baby which are in the womb of our mother can be studied by karyotype to find out whether is there any genetic abnormalities present or not. Yeah, what is the sex of the child? But since the practice, the sex of the child practice was not legal, it is now banned. So, but this karyotype is done to find out mostly the whether is there any genetic abnormalities present or not. So, what is karyotype? An entire chromosome complement of an individual cell seen during mitosis. Which phase? The metaphase. If someone asks which phase is the best to study the all chromosome of an individual, it will be metaphase of mitosis. Okay, so it's used to study the genetic abnormalities or the structure of chromosome. And now when the karyotype, suppose this is metaphase stage where the chromosomes are scattered and can be counted. Okay, and when these chromosomes are arranged according to the size in the decreasing order, it is called the ideogram. So the diagrammatic representation of chromosome according to size, okay, is called ideogram. The size is decreasing from big to small. It's called the karyotype. The other terminology is pseudogene. What is pseudogene? So when a functional gene has been mutated into an inactive form over course of evolution, is called pseudogene. Suppose once a time this gene was quite active and gave functional protein, but now due to certain mutation, yeah, that lead to adaptation, the function is lost. And so though the gene is present in the human, there is no function, it is functionless, inactive form, so it is called the pseudogene.